Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the ACAP Recap. Today we're going to talk about Form W-9. I'm going to explain what is the Form W-9 and when you have to give it. I'll also walk you through how to complete the W-9 form in each of the steps. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and let's get right to it. All right, welcome back. So this is the Form W-9. And before we start, you'll notice on the top right, it says, do not send this to the IRS, give the form to the requester. Let's assume that you are an influencer and you have a lot of followers on your social media channels, and this business comes to you and says, we want to pay you $1,000 to promote our product. And you're like, wow, that's great. I'll accept that proposal. And before they send you money, they request a W-9 from you. And the purpose of that is at the end of the year, they're going to issue you a 1099 that shows on that 1099 that they paid you $1,000, and that copy of the 1099 is going to go to the IRS as well. The IRS is going to make sure that that $1,000 that's paid to you is reported on your tax return. So that's the purpose of the W-9, is for the person who's paying you to use it to complete the 1099 that's going to go to the IRS and also a copy to you. So that way they're able to legally deduct that expense on their business, and you have to report it on your income, whether if you're acting as a sole proprietor or as some sort of a business entity. Now let's jump into completing the form. On the top, you're going to put what the name what your name is, or the name of your business. You don't need to put both depending on what you are. If you're a sole proprietor, all you need to do is put your name. In this case, let's assume you're Joe Smith. You'd put Joe Smith. But if you're not a sole proprietor, you're a corporation, then you're going to leave the top part blank and you're going to put the name of your corporation. So let's assume your corporation's ABC Inc. You'll put the name of your corporation. But if you are an LLC, you put the name of your LLC, Joe Smith Consulting LLC. Whatever the name of your entity is, that's what you're going to put on here, because that's what the 1099 is going to be issued to. Next, you're going to identify what type of entity structure you are. So assuming that you are an LLC and you are taxed as a C Corp, an S Corp, or a partnership, you would select on here LLC, and you'd identify on here you're an LLC taxed as, for example, an S Corp, or LLC taxed as a C Corp, because you have the option of doing that. If you are an LLC and you're a single member LLC, meaning there's no other owners and you're not electing to be taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp, then you're technically not a partnership. You're a single member LLC, you're disregarded, and in that scenario, you're just going to identify as a sole proprietor. Even though you're an LLC, because you're not taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp, you're technically not a partnership. So you would put individual sole proprietor as a single member LLC. If you are a corporation, whether C or an S, or a partnership, you would select that appropriate box. So just kind of keep that in mind. Next is you're going to put down your address, your business address. You don't put down your personal address. You put down your business address. You'll notice there's a section that says a requester's name and address is optional. I would leave this part blank, because when you complete the W-9, I would recommend you complete it, you sign it, you have it available, and anytime you send an invoice out to someone to get paid, you include a copy of your W-9, a signed copy of your W-9. That way there's never any confusion about whether you sent them the W-9, and they know exactly who to issue the 1099 to at the end of the year. Okay, so leave that requester name and address part blank. You put your business address in sections 5, 6, and 7, or 5, 6. If you do have an account number, although this is very rare, I've never seen this before, you would put that part down as well. Next part, which is the most important, is your EIN or your social security number. If you are an individual, you're a sole proprietor, you would put in your social security number. If you are a business entity, including a single member LLC, because even if you're a single member LLC, even though above you would put individual sole proprietor, a single member LLC still has to get an employer identification number, right? So it's very important. If you don't know what an employer identification number is, look at the other video I did where I walk through what an EIN is and how you can apply for one. But if you're a sole proprietor, you're not incorporated, you don't have an LLC, you would put your social security number here. I would encourage you, if you are a sole proprietor, to apply for an EIN anyway. It's not required, but it might be a good idea. And the reason is because you're going to be sending this form usually by email. And because email is a non-secure form of communication, you don't want your social security number floating around there. So get an EIN if you're a sole proprietor, use that on your W-9. And remember, if you do go that route and you're doing your taxes, that income that's being reported to you, it's being reported on your EIN. So you're gonna have to put your EIN on your personal tax return under Schedule C when you're reporting that income. So just kind of keep that in mind. Next part is you're gonna sign it and you're gonna date it. I would recommend you do a wet signature, print it, do a wet signature, scan it, and then keep that scanned form that you can send to someone. You can do an electronic signature, but it's really up to you. Again, this is not going to the IRS. It's just going to the people who are paying you for their services. So that's how you complete a Form W-9. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you do like this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. That way we can continue to produce quality content such as this.